Hi, my name is Sandra Hunt Whittemore. I'm born to the parents of Johnny Sanford Hunt, who was Lumbee and Tuscarora, and to the mother of Charity May Chavez, who was born from the Seneca of Hudson Bay, New York. As far as the Native American regalia, it's something they wear to represent their tribal origin. So it could be symbolic of a color, it could be symbolic of a specific dance, but it's something that they wear to honor their ancestors. Well, there's over 405 tribes, so each tribe has their own unique set of regalia. They don't work in it per se, but then again, you could say there's some that are professional powwowers. So they do work every day dancing and during classes for different events. But for the most part, it's women, children, and men, and even some of your elders still participate and honor their ancestors. I started sewing when I was 9, so I really was not into Native American culture until I got older and my children wanted to start dancing. So I observed and I looked at the way things moved, and I looked at different tribes and I looked at our history. So I sort of made my own patterns from newspapers and started making them along with my husband. We learned how to make feathers and bustles. It was pretty interesting. The history is that there's a quilt in the museum at UNCP that was made using, I think, ribbons off of a cigar box. And that's where they started that regalia from, and I think it was Hayes Allen that actually put it together. But basically, if you think about it, the longleaf pines here in our state, we use the pine straw and even the pine cones for different things in our agriculture, as well as trying to stay warm. And we'd use some of the sap from the trees as well. So there's a lot of significance and historical evidence around that as to why we use that pine cone. What I do before I even start making, I usually interview folks, the parents, and then I interview the person that's going to be wearing the regalia. I want to find out who they are. Actually, because I'm a person of medicine, I usually ask that person, what is your medicine? What makes you who you are? What are your interests? What are your habits? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? And I want to represent that person, so that's what I do uniquely. I put something in there that represents that person. When I first started sewing, I sewed because it was a way to get away from some of the things that were going on in the world around me. It was pretty nasty. I lived in a time when there was a lot of hate. There still is today, but I grew up in an all-white world, and there was a lot of Ku Klux Klan, and I was exposed to that. So I wanted to start sewing so I could sort of quieten that environment and be focused on something beautiful. So sewing was a way to make things pretty, and that's why I started sewing. So I tend to do the same thing today. I work in an environment where there's a lot of death and dying because I work in health care. So it's a way to get away from that and create beauty out of it. I've tried to teach my daughter. I've taught other folks, and there's a lot of people that say they want to come learn, but it's just because I work full-time, it's hard to do that. I did at one point in time work with a Boys and Girls Club to try and teach some of the kids how to sew. The tribe did supply some of the sewing products and the sewing machines, but it was hard because it was hard for some of the kids to get there and to concentrate. So I'm always willing to do that. And I do work with a program with seniors. Sometimes they have projects and they come to me and I help them make regalia. That is their senior project. They actually build a regalia.
My name is Sienna Rainfetter, and I live in the Pembroke community. As you can see, I'm wearing a Lumbee pinecone patchwork regalia. I would like to share a little information about the Lumbee pinecone patchwork regalia that I am wearing. Before Hayes Allen Locklear designed this dress, he studied photographs of several women from our community wearing this style dress. One of the women that he studied in a photograph was my great-great-grandmother, Granny Cat, or Catherine Lowry, who was the wife of George Washington Lowry, also known as Uncle Wash in our community. In this picture, Granny Cat is wearing a collared dress with a caplet. Hayes studied the photograph of this dress with a magnifying glass to develop an accurate depiction of the Lumbee style dress that our community women wear today. Not only am I honored to wear this dress as a young Lumbee woman, but I am honored to also wear this style dress that my grandmothers before me wore while serving as Lumbee pathmakers for our people. It brings me great honor to know that this style dress was worn while my grandmothers served as midwives and as medicine women for our community. To me, this dress represents honor, strength, resilience, and our past and our promising future. This particular dress was sewn and designed by Miss Sandra Whittemore. I chose the color turquoise because it's one of my favorite colors, and it's a beautiful color that comes straight from our earth. The brown represents our dark Lumbee River because we are the people of the dark water. On my apron there are 3 tulips that represent myself, my mom, and my Nana. On the bottom of my apron are 6 canoes representing my 6 generations of grandmothers, the 7th representing myself, and that what is woven on the inside are cheney berries that represent all that I have gathered and learned from my grandmothers. Canoes have always been important to our people and our culture. They served as vessels of transportation and trade, and also represent who we are as a people. And now I'm going to share with you a canoe song that was written by Putufe to honor our canoe culture. Unwa, unwa, nuya, awe, yo, ongweya. Ungwa, ungwa, nuya, awe, yo, ongweya.